Well, good evening, everybody. Michael Soothing here. I wanted to talk a little bit today about Big League chewing gum, bubble gum actually. And here, let's show the portrait of the guy. And if I have to, I can use, maybe I better shoot a photo here. Hold on. Let's have to push the photo button so I have a thumbnail, okay? Okay. I have not had any chewing gum, so far as I recall, or any bubble gum either, since I was probably 9 or 10 years old. So I hope I can remember how to chew this and blow bubbles. But the reason I'm doing this is because, baseball season is getting down to it, right? And my beloved team, no, my not very beloved team, the San Francisco Giants, who are on such a roll early in the season, now suck, okay? Seems like they find every possible way to lose a game. But anyway, in honor of, I discarded my normal hat, but I couldn't find a team hat. I thought I'd better wear a baseball cap, but I don't have one with a team logo, unless Bubba Gump is hosting a major league team this year, which I don't think they are, or if one of the major teams has changed their name. But anyway, I thought this would be kind of interesting. Let me tell you a little bit about it before we try chewing some. Big League Chew is a brand of bubble gum. Yes, I'm reading off a crib sheet, okay, that I printed out because I don't remember anything these days. It is shredded and packaged in aluminum foil. That's what keeps it fresh. I hope they don't make this in China. No. It's made in Akron, New York, it says down there. Akron, New York, okay. Produced with genetic engineering, it says. So they can't put non-GMO on the label, can they? Or maybe they're just being humorous. Anyway, they always have this kind of like crazed player on the front. Let's see what the nutrition facts are. 10 calories in one serving. That's not very much. Even my quasi type 2 diabetic system can handle that. Not much sugar. Only 2 grams, that's not bad. Only 2 grams of carb. Let's see what they say on the back before I read you the info that I have. Sitting in a bullpen one summer night long ago, Portland Mavericks. That's appropriate for me now because I'm an Oregon, soon to be. Well, at the moment I am an Oregon resident, but still live in California. This is my home. Oh, well, it's my future home. Anyway, off topic. Portland Mavericks left-hander Rob Nelson came up with a fun new bubblegum idea. Shredded gum from a pouch. He called it Big League Chew. Rob's teammate Jim Bowden found a gum company to make Big League Chew, and in no time at all, it became the must-have bubblegum for players of all ages. Today, it is the gum that keeps your mouth from getting dry. Well, that's good because I'm very thirsty and getting dry mouth at this moment. Grit, determination, Okay, so Big League Chew, who are they made by? Let's see here. I found out when I was doing my research. Ford, yeah. Not Ford the car dealer. Ford the Gum and Machine Company in Akron, New York. Made in the USA, right? So, Big League Chew is a gum that is shredded and packaged in aluminum foil. And it says here they wanted to have an alternative to chewing tobacco. Over 750 million pouches have been sold since 1980. Wow, that's a lot of gum. Okay, where does all that chewed gum go? 750 million. You know, do you ever wonder? It goes to the bottom of your shoe. That's where it goes. Okay, so, or mine. The original slogan still featured today is, "You're in the big leagues." When you are into Big League Chew, I don't see that slogan on here. Let's see what it says. Yeah, I don't see that on here anywhere. Maybe it's inside, or maybe this is a new slogan. Outta Here Original. They have different flavors. It says a whole lot of gum in every pouch. Outta Here Original. Okay, I'm going to read you the unofficial Big League Chew, An Oral History by Anna McDonald. Now, in case you're wondering who Anna McDonald is, I'm going to show you, because I didn't know who she was either, writing this history of Big League Chew. But I found her portrait fairly interesting, and her story, okay? Sorry that it's in black and white, but if I printed it in color, it would be too NSFW for you kids out there, so those of you under the age of 30 or so. Okay, Jim Bouton and Rob Nelson say it was pure luck that the two of them sat in the Portland Mavericks bullpen one night in 1977 and came up with an idea: shredded bubble gum in a pouch. What they couldn't know then was that they would sell hundreds of millions of packages worldwide. What did we say, 800 million? I forgot. It all started when actor Bing Russell, known for his role on the TV series Bonanza, one of my subbies was talking to me about, and the father of Hollywood's Kurt Russell, brought an independent baseball team to Portland, Oregon in 1973. That would be the Mavericks. Yeah. He was finding guys who could play baseball. We'll just keep Anna McDonald's portrait handy here so we don't forget what she looks like as we're reading this oral history. The story about the invention and success of Big League Chew hinges upon the people woven into the fabric of Bouton and Nelson's life. They go into a long history. Bouton was in business for himself as an 8-year-old, see. He was an entrepreneur then. Anytime there was something in the newspaper, selling chocolates door to door or whatever, I would do it. I'd send away for a kit and go around door to door. Rob Nelson, that was Jim Bouton. Rob Nelson said, when I was a little kid, I was enamored with bubble gum. I blew a lot of bubbles. One of my heroes was second baseman for Chicago White Sox, Nellie Fox, Hall of Famer. He was known for two things: a big, thick bat, and he chewed an enormous amount of tobacco. So his bubblegum trading card showed this big bulge in his cheek. Maybe he was also auditioning to be the Godfather in that movie, right? But I always chewed a lot of bubble gum to look like Nellie Fox. Okay, they go on and on about their history. I can't read all of it to you, or we'll be here forever, okay? So I will shamelessly exploit the picture of Anna McDonald again to keep you guys interested. Okay, I don't want to be, misogynist or anything. That's not me. Okay. Anyway, they get down to the story eventually about how they were sitting around in the bullpen and a healthy alternative to chewing tobacco idea they had. What would you call it? And they were shooting the breeze, and I said, something like Big League Chew. Yeah, not something like, because that became the name, didn't it? Big League Chew. My brother, let's see here. Jim loved the name, but he asked me to come up with other possibilities. My brother Ed says the naming thing is preposterous. Kind of like four guys in Liverpool wondering what to call the band. And one of them offhandedly says, how about the Beatles? And everybody ridiculed them, right? He mulled over a couple of names. One was Maverick Chew, named after their team. He drew a picture of a pouch with my picture on the front, very crude. But the idea was to create a pouch with shredded bubble gum. Supposedly this keeps your mouth from getting dry. Maybe before I finish the story, I should chew some and see if I can remember how to blow a bubble with it. Would that be puerile of me? I like to stay young, I don't think like an old... Here, I'll let you participate in me opening my first ever pouch of bubble gum. Yeah, I chewed bubble gum as a kid, so it's not my first ever bubble gum, but it's the first time I opened it in a pouch. When I was a kid, I used to get bubble gums in this little bag thing, and they were little golden nuggets of bubble gum with sort of a candy coating. Do you remember those? But this stuff comes shredded because it's supposed to be kind of like tobacco, but it doesn't look like chewing tobacco, does it? Because it's pink. Do they have chewing tobacco for women so they can spit out pink juice instead of dark brown juice? I wonder. I always found the habit rather disgusting, but I guess it was pretty popular back in the Western Wild West days. They had spittoons everywhere. I guess it's better than smoking and getting cancer, but they didn't know back then. Let me try some. This looks a little like a Fear Factor food of some kind, worms or something, doesn't it? And don't ask me to do a Fear Factor video because I'm going to decline, okay? Tastes pretty good. One of the innovations we're going to read about, they had to figure out how to make the gum in these strands without it sticking together over time, with heat and everything. Because normal bubble gum would all stick together if you shredded it like this. I'm going to have to get some more. I would hate to have a bubble fail at my first attempt. I don't even remember how to blow bubbles. Let's chew that up for a while. And what else here? Okay. The Big League Chew. Have any Mavericks called or spoken to you, regretting they didn't invest in Big League Chew when they could have, when we gave him the opportunity? This is the interview with Jim, and he says, I hear that all the time. Because anyone investing would have made a lot of money. Rob will deny it, but Bolton probably won't. We were sitting in the bullpen, and Rob came in. We were all spitting, and they didn't chew, and he didn't smoke cigarettes. We were all spitting tobacco on his shoes all the time. Disgusting. Okay. He got sick and tired of that, so he wanted to invent something like bubble gum. He said, I got a great idea, you guys. If we all invest a certain amount of money, we can get a patent on it. And I said, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I laughed at him and walked away. That's Jim Swanson talking. I bet he regrets that now. And he goes on to say, Rob Nelson, I had one good idea. That would be this gum. And I had a great partner who had a business background and was as tenacious off the field as he was on the field. They say it takes a village. Well, it took a bunch of teammates and a lot of smart people to get Big League Chew out there. And yet, here we are talking. Who says, I'm like the Willy Wonka of bubblegum. This kind of reminds me of the Wonka candy graphics just a little bit. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. I remember when I had the first taste of Big League Chew. Jim and I laughed about it. I can't believe this idea became what it was. When I saw the real pouch, saw the brilliance of Bill Mayer's art. Bill Mayer's the guy he was from Mad Magazine, very popular when this was invented. And he came up with some of the original artwork. I saw the brilliance of Bill Mayer's art. That's when it hit me. Wow, I'm really in business here. Then the postcards started coming in. Hey Rob, I saw your gum in a fishing tackle place in Maine. And then I realized, okay, so I'm not in the big leagues, but my gum is, okay? So he kept at it. He kept at it with his entrepreneurial spirit, even though he was having trouble with his baseball career. That was a real dud. I hope I can do better than that. Let's try again. That was a fail. I think I'm going to have to chew more of this if I'm going to blow any kind of bubble that isn't the most pathetic bubble ever. I know other ASMR artists do a much better job with bubble gum. But, like I told you, I'm being honest here, I haven't chewed bubble gum since I was 10 years old, let alone Big League Chew. So, give me just a little bit of slack, would you please? I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that if I manage to blow a bubble, you'll be able to see it, okay? I don't know if I'll manage. But while I'm chewing up the bubble gum, let's do a preview of Pokemon future video by looking at a couple of the characters. How about C Dot? Do you like C Dot? I don't know what C Dot does. It says here, flip a coin. If heads, this Pokemon would be knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's next turn. It is not knocked out, and its remaining HP becomes 10 instead if it is not knocked out. I used to know some of the Pokemon figures because my kids had the early cards, which would now be worth a fortune, of course. But I don't know if they saved those very early original ones. Another upcoming video I'm going to do is on fish species. A little bit like the pillowcase video I did, but this one will be a lot more scientific and official. See, know your fish. This is something I all want you to do, is to know your fish. Okay, I'm going to embarrass myself now. How long do you have to chew before it will make a good bubble? Does anybody know? Maybe I haven't chewed it long enough yet. I'm having a hard time not cracking up because this is such a bad fail. I gotta get at least one bubble out of this thing, or I won't be satisfied. I won't be able to sleep tonight. I'm doing something wrong. Somebody find me the guide, the idiot's guide to blowing bubbles with chewing gum, would you please? You don't normally see me laugh on these videos, but this one has got me laughing. This is terrible. Soon I will turn red, and then I will be a shrimp. You know, I used to chew that bubble gum when I was a kid. It came with a little comic wrapped around it, you know, a little square. That worked fine. What am I doing wrong? Someone tell me, and then I'll go back to the drawing board. It's like 4th of July and you light a firecracker, you know, and it's a dud. I'm not going to keep embarrassing myself because this isn't going to work. I may have to do I may have to do an off-camera practice session to see what I'm doing wrong, and then come back and open another video sometime with a bubble, and then move on to some other topic. That's a tiny bit better. I think it's starting to work just a little bit. I'm not going to spit any brown juice though. That was their original intention for the gum. They were going to have brown dye in it and a licorice flavor. Both of those sound disgusting to me, but luckily, wiser heads prevailed. If you heard that sound outside just now, that pterodactyl sound, there's a blue heron that lives close by my house. And when it flies with those great big pterodactylish wings, it actually makes one of those raspy dinosaur kind of sounds. It's really cool. Maybe that's what I was doing wrong. Trying to blow the bubble too fast. Need to slow down. That's what it was. I was pushing too much air. But of course, it is the political season, isn't it? Well, it does help to not, it helps to keep your mouth moist. Maybe I'll chew gum all night so I don't wake up with dry mouth. Don't do that. It's too dangerous. You can choke on the gum. Well, I think that's about as close to a real bubble as I'm going to get. So, this has been an interesting fail for me that I've still enjoyed. I don't mind having the humility to embarrass myself once in a while, as long as it's not in every single video, right? So, I hope you enjoyed learning a little something about Big League Chew, because I enjoyed it, and when I get off camera, I'll probably immediately be able to blow a bubble about the size of my head, but it will never work on camera, of course. You know how these things go, so you know my advice, everyone. Don't ASMR and drive, okay? Take care.